Hello everyone, my name is Tomco and today I'm showing you how to make a 2-wide hidden staircase. Yeah, I built myself a tennis court. I mean, where else would you find a hidden staircase? But if we click this button, our staircase appears from the ground, just like that. The animation definitely isn't perfect, but it's still really cool. And we can reveal our secret supply of balls. Now we can either shut this behind us, or make our way out and close it behind us so nobody would ever know it's here. Like that. But the best part isn't how hidden it is or how scary it is. That is not the word. The best part is how small the redstone is. So taking a look around the redstone, this is what it looks like. Now for some of you, this may scare a lot of people away, but I promise you, it's nowhere near as complicated as it looks. But if we fly inside, you can see there is lots of air in this thing. Oh, and by the way, what's actually a really cool feature is that you can extend this staircase going down even further if you wanted to. It doesn't have to stop here, it could go down as far as you wanted. Anyways, instead of just sitting around waiting for the tennis to start, I think it's time for me to show you how to build it. Alright, so you're going to need a 6 blocks long by 6 blocks wide by 6 blocks tall area. And I'd also get your stairs in place just like this. So where these are, these bottom stairs over here, they are 3 blocks above the ground, and they go up another 3 stairs behind that. So this is the first, second and third, fourth, and then on the 4th there is your ground level. So if I was to show it over here, that 4th step over there is the same as these 2 steps over here. Like as you can see, this is your ground level. And if I fly up from the top, this is what it looks like. So I'd recommend you get this in place first, so you know where to dig out and where to build the redstone, so you don't build it in the wrong place. And so to build it, this is everything you need. Now what you can do is you can swap the honey and slime blocks around. So instead of having 9 slime and 4 honey, you can have 9 honey and 4 slime, but you do have to have both types. Now the 3 obsidian, that can basically be any immovable object. Obsidian's just obviously the go-to one. And then the glazed terracotta blocks, they can be any block that doesn't stick to slime, but more particularly grey terracotta blocks, they have to be a solid block that doesn't stick to slime. And the 7 green ones, they're going to be the type of blocks which you'll be able to see from the outside, so make sure they're a nice looking block. But for me over here, I like to use shulker boxes where I can see, because I think they look the best, I guess. But anyways, once you got all that, we can start. Alright, so bear in mind, I'm going to be calling this side the front. So essentially, this is the back, this is the front. So if I say that, don't get confused. But what you want to do, you want to come around to the front, you want to come down all the way to the bottom of your floor, and you want to come 1 block away from the left here, place a block here, and place a dust on top of that block on top of the dust, a lever on top of this block, and then this is going to be your input lever. Alright, so you then want to come on top of this block, you want to place a piston, make sure it's facing to the right, and then you want to put obsidian block or any immovable block in front of this like so. So even if we were to power this piston shouldn't move. That's very important. Then to get yourself a torch, you want to put a torch on the side of this piston, just like so. You then put a block on top of this piston, torch on top of this, with a sticky piston to the left of it, like that. And so it should extend as well. So now you have something which looks like this, and I'm essentially just going to be using this to build off of. It's looking a bit weird so far, but I promise you it will come together soon. Now before things get in the way, you want to remove what you have over here. You don't want to be trying to build this around this, it will get very annoying. So just remove it temporarily. You then come round to the back, and to the left of this obsidian, you want to place in 2 sticky pistons like this, both of which should be facing forwards if you were looking at it from the back. Right, so now you want to make sure this lever is flicked downwards so that this torch is off. You then just place a temporary block over here, block to the left, destroy this block, and place a 40 delay repeater on top of this block, go into the left. You then just place 3 blocks, 1 directly next to it, 1 above it, and 1 below it. You then place another 1 to the left of it, destroy this block, and on both of these 2 blocks here, put a spot of dust on both of them. Right, so then you want to come round over here. On this block, you want to place a sticky piston, going to the right if you were looking at it from the front. And then you want to put 3 more next to this, so 1, 2, 3. So you got 4 like this, and it should line up perfectly with your corner over here. So these sticky pistons over here, they're the ones that are going to be dual piston extending. That's not a word, but okay. The trapdoor. So these is going to push out, and then more pistons are going to push it up, making it flush with the floor. And then it will do the same thing but in reverse when getting retracted in. So if I was to show you it over here, you can see they get extended out like that, and then they can also retract in, like that. So that's what those sticky pistons over there do. But we're not done yet, so now what you want to do is you want to come over here, and on this piece of dust, you want to put a block up, you want to put a block out, destroy this block, then coming away, you want to place a repeater, set that to 1 ticks. You then want to place another block up in front of this redstone dust over here, like so. You're going to place a block down here, another block here, destroy this block, the 4 delay repeater coming away from that one, a block up in front of it, just on top of here, and then you want to get your glazed terracotta blocks out, or whatever blocks you've chosen that don't stick to slime. You won't be able to see these, by the way, so you can make them as ugly as you want, but you then want to place one up on this side of the dust, and you want to crouch, and you want to place one on the top of this repeater, so it's the other side of the dust. So essentially, this dust activates these 2 sticky pistons, and this dust will activate the sticky pistons when they reach here. Alright, so you then want to get your slime and honey out. And what you should do, first of all, you want to place a sticky piston facing upwards on this block, and one facing upwards in front of this redstone dust here, like so. And then you want to get whichever one you have the most of. For example, I have 9 slime, and whatever you have the most of, you want to place 4 blocks of it on this right square over here. And then the one which you didn't use this time, you want to use on this left square here. Make sure that you have the most of this one and only 4 of this one. I hope that makes sense. But most importantly, make sure that they are different. And then you want to get your floor blocks out. You want to place your floor blocks along all of these, like so. You then want to place a block which you will be able to see in the staircase directly next to this sticky piston down here. It can be any block, solid, transparent, doesn't matter. Just place the block down here. It is actually important. And then you're going to place another row of blocks directly on top of this, like so. So by the way, this should be your floor block. So if you lined it up before, this top block over here, this should line up perfectly with the rest of your floor. You then want to come back around to the front, and on top of this redstone torch, you want to place an observer facing upwards. Block on top of the observer, block to the left of it, another 4 delay repeater. Get yourself some dust out. You can place dust on top of this piston. Observer coming away from the dust, running directly into a block like that. And now we should be able to test like the main part of the trapdoor out. So when we flick this, it should extend, and when we retract it, it should retract in. So if we were to open it, as you see, both of these gets pushed out 2 blocks. We haven't done the bit that pushes it up yet, but we've almost done it. And then when we retract this, they should both come in, which they do. Very good. And then you want to come down here. Now I've moved to a different colour of wool because we are working on a different circuit. So that's all the trapdoor stuff now done. Now we're working on the extension that actually pops the staircase up. So this triple piston extender down here that pushes all of these up. That's what the red circuit is basically. So what you want to do, you come down here where you have this redstone dust. You're going to place a block in front of it. The 4 delay repeater on like so. You then want to come round and place a sticky piston facing forwards like this. You want to get a redstone block out and place a block in front of this sticky piston. Then you come round to the front again, and on this sticky piston, you're going to place a repeater. Once again, set that to 4 ticks. And now where you have this 4 delay repeater over here, you want to destroy it, and you want to replace it with a sticky piston facing to the right if you were looking at it from the front, and then you want to replace that repeater just like that. So basically swap the block which you're sitting on with a piston. And then you want to come back around to this side, and over here you want to place a piston. And then on the other side, you want to place a piston, so it looks like this. You want to place a redstone block here. To get yourself some blocks. These can be any blocks, by the way, but I tend to use glass just so I can see what's actually going on. Just make sure that the blocks you do use here are pushable. So for example, you could use dirt if you want. Literally any building block you just have, just whack it in here like this. And then above this block of glass, you want to place a repeater coming away from this block or pointing to the left if you're looking at it from over here. Come down to the floor, you want to crouch, you want to look up, and you want to place an observer on this block, and just on top of this observer, you then want to get your slab out, if I can find it, and then on the left of this observer, you want to place your slab, make sure it's on the top part of the block, and you want to put some dust on top of that slab. And then come back round to this side, where you have this redstone block over here, you want to place a piston, like a block in front of it, and a block to the left of it, but make sure that it's facing, well, to the right if you're looking at it from the front. But then you want to place a torch on the side of this piston like so. And then you're placing two sticky pistons next to each other. One here and one here. You're going to place the blocks in front of both of them like so. Then on this block, you're going to place a sticky piston facing downwards. And a block directly below this, well, a redstone block directly below this. What will happen is we'll place sticky pistons on top of this like so. So now when it gets activated, both of them turn off. When it gets unactivated, both of them turn on again. But anyways, you then want to place another regular piston on top of this redstone block, but this time make sure it's facing make sure it's facing the back. You want to place a torch on top of this, and then another one of your non-sticky blocks. Once again, you won't be able to see this on top of this. So now you want to get two stairs out and another piece of obsidian. You're going to place two stairs on top of this, and an obsidian block to the left over here. So just temporarily, you want to place a block directly in front of this repeater down here. And so now we can actually try out our trapdoor. So what should happen? It'll get extended, it pops up, then it all should retract and go back in again. So we should be able to try it out. As you can see, all gets extended, very good. But does it retract again? Yes, it does. Perfect. And what you should notice is that these stairs pop in and pop out perfectly as well, which they should be doing. But for now, make sure you remove this block since it was only temporary. Alright, so you want to come back round to over here and place in a row of blocks going along like this. Going away from this dust, you want to place a 4-tick layer repeater. You want to place dust in front of it. 2 blocks here like so. Dust on this one. And then on this one, you want to place a 2-tick layer repeater like this. And then you want to place in a sticky piston facing upwards in front of it like that. And then at the end over here, you want to come a block up. Dust on top of these blocks. You then want to run a line of blocks going to the right from here. These first 2 blocks you want to place like repeaters on, both of which should be set to 4 ticks. And then you want to place a piece of dust on this end block, like so. And then you want to place a sticky piston on the floor, so it should extend like that. Then you want to crouch, place a block on top of this repeater, your final block of obsidian to the right of this, and then you want to put 2 pieces of dust on top of these blocks. And then you want to place another sticky piston to the left of this obsidian, like so. So once again, it should be facing upwards. And then you place 2 pieces of dust on top of these sticky pistons over here. You then place a repeater going directly into this block, like so. And then you want to come round to this repeater over here. You want to get some observers out, and you want to crouch, and you want to place 2 observers on top of this. So one here, and another one on top of this. So to fly around, you can kind of see exactly where they were placed. So find this repeater, 2 observers on top of that. Then on top of these observers, you can place a glazed terracotta block, or a block which doesn't stick to slime. In front of it, you want to place a block. This doesn't have to be terracotta. You then place a repeater, coming away from this block, set that to 4 ticks. And then you want to place another block that doesn't stick to slime in front of this repeater, like so. So essentially, when this observer detects something, it should send a signal to this redstone line up here. Then coming back round over here, you want to place a block in front of this dust. You want to place a torch on top of this. Then for the first time, this is where you're going to have to place a terracotta block, which you will be able to see. So I'm just going to be using my green, since it kind of matches the wall. It still looks very ugly though, but what I like to do is I like to use shulker boxes over here, since that lime terracotta block I just placed is the same as this shulker box over here. So I just think it's way less notable when you're using shulker boxes instead. But anyways, you then want to place another block, which you won't be able to see to the left of this torch. Once again, it will have to be terracotta. You then place a repeater, set that to 4 ticks. Place another block to the left, but this time you want to set that to 1 ticks. A block up in front of the repeater, and a torch on the side of this block, like so. You then want to get your remaining slime and remaining stairs out. So now it's very important that you place the slime exactly how I do it, otherwise it will break the entire thing. So what you want to do, you can place a block, a slime block on top of this sticky piston over here, a one in front of it, one to the right of it, one on top of it, then one to the right of that. So it's very important that there is no slime here, just above it. So it looks like this. You then place 2 stairs here, 2 here, and 2 here, and believe it or not, that should be everything done. So when we turn it off, it should retract away, then pop out, which it does, perfect. And then when we turn it on, it should reveal our stairs, which it does, perfect. And then now that that is working, what you can do is you can come all the way in and its repeater, which was on top of the sticky piston, you can change this to 3 ticks just to make it a little bit faster. So once again, it's just the same thing, it just should be a tiny bit faster. Right, so now we just have to decorate it, but make sure you stay tuned because it's really important how you do this so you don't mess the whole thing up. So the very first things we're going to be doing is placing the blocks that we're going to have to be terracotta or any block that doesn't stick to slime. Once again, I use shulker boxes for everything that I'm actually going to use, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to just use this light green terracotta just so it's really obvious. Alright, so you're going to have to place another 4 here, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then if you're going to have a wall over here, you're going to be covering these up with terracotta blocks as well, so 1 and 2. Then everything else you can do whatever you want with. And obviously if you were to carry on this staircase, you would carry on going down over here, and then you can decorate these walls with whatever blocks you want. So now it looks something like this decorated, so once again we can test it out, make sure it still works. So it should all close. Closes just fine, then it all should open. Perfect. Now what's also really important, if I'll just remove this for a second, watch it close again. If you were to attach a repeater into this thing, let's say you were connecting up to anything, instead of having these repeaters over here set to 4 ticks, they have to be set to 3 ticks. So when you have a lever directly on this block, set these to 4 ticks. But when there's a repeater going into this block and this dust, so you can connect it to a lever up here if you wanted to, so I was just to have it up here instead. Make sure that these are both set to 3 ticks. But for now, just remember, if you're moving the lever or attaching it to anything else that isn't a lever directly, these 2 repeaters up here, 3 ticks. So now we can test it out from up here. It all opens for us, and we can close it from up here, and it all closes away, and you'd never be able to find it. This is very green. Now, if you want to connect it to buttons, there is a video on my channel called How to Connect Any Door to Buttons. Just watch that and I should be able to show you how. But that's all for me, and I'll see you all later. I hope you have fun with your new 2 wide hidden staircase.